says, "You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity?" And I looked in the dictionary to see what enmity means, and it's pretty strong. It says feeling or condition of hostility, hatred, ill will, or animosity. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I can't believe that the Bible would put it that way. That not only did he call us a cheater on him, he called us, that he told us that we weren't friends with him, and we also hated him because we were serving the world.
Yeah.
We were serving the world. And that is so like, but God, I love you, you know, like in my head, you know, God, I love you. I want what you have for me. I want everything that you have for me. I want a family. I want just down the road a future, you know, not that tomorrow's not my future, but just down the road and plans and stuff. When we start doing it our own way and we start going by what the world wants and we start going by the standards by what the world has, then we no longer become partners with God. We become partners with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And partners with the world means totally disregarding God in our life and going into what the devil wants us to go into, which then in fact brings us into being enemies of God, which is really hard beyond my Christian mindset to understand, because I love God so much. I love God so much, but we are all capable of doing that. We are all capable, even as Christians, even as the blood-bought Christians who have surrendered their whole lives to them. If we are not careful, then we are no better than somebody else just starting out. And that is really hard truth, to know that, to understand that, to get that. And I don't want to do that. Another version says, "You adulteress, don't you know that friendship with the world is hostility toward God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God." See, we are enemy of God whenever we do serve the world. There is no gray line at all. It said, you know, it also says in the Bible that, for God it says, "If who is for me, who can be against me?" And God's saying, if you're not for me, you are definitely against me. There's no other way out. You can't be in the middle. You can't, here's God over here on one side and the devil over here on the other side. There's no way you can stand in the middle and get directions from God over here while you're standing in the middle, and then, but at the other time, get directions from the devil or whoever your friends want you to do, whatever drugs want you to do, whatever, anything that will get you away from what over here God wants you to have. That is the most confusing state of mind that I could ever think of. Mm-hmm. That is so confusing, because not only are you trying to stand in the middle and get what God wants you to do, but you're also still in that same middle asking what the devil wants you to do. And I don't get that. I don't get that. And so many Christians even, they are those lukewarm Christians that God just wants to spit out of their mouth and say, "I never knew you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I never knew you. You know, you don't worship me the way that I can know you in a personal, deep relationship. I don't know you that way. You may claim to know me just to make friends on certain circles, and you may claim to know me even in, you know, other realms. But at the same time, when it all comes down to it, did you talk to me every day? Did you have a relationship with me every day? Did you love me every single day and you would lay down your life for me every single day if you had a choice?" And if you are not completely sold out, there is no way you can say, "I will lay down my life for you." There's no way. And in the Message version, it says, you're cheating on God if all you want is your own way, flirting with the world every chance you get. You end up enemies of God and his way. Enemies of, not only enemies of God, but his way for your life. And that still blows my mind. One version says, you adulterous people. The New American Standard Bible says, you adulteresses. Still a person who cheats. And the Message version, all-inclusive, says, you're cheating on God. Period. You are cheating on God if all you want is your own way, flirting with the world every chance you get, and you end up enemies of God and his way. And when it goes on with the Message version, and do you suppose God doesn't care? The proverb has it that he's a fiercely jealous lover, and what he gives in love is far better than anything else you'll find. It's common knowledge that God goes against the willful proud, and God gives grace to the willing humble.
Yep.
Now, there's a key word that I just said in order to maintain a relationship with God. Or, God is even telling me that the key word is humbleness to any relationship that we have. It's all-inclusive, but the Bible is going straight towards what God wants in our lives. We have to be humble. Humbleness is huge when we start to enter the Holy of Holies. We cannot enter into God's presence with a very prideful spirit. I have it all together and I could care less what God wants me to do, or I could care less what God is trying to speak to me because I have it all together. I don't need his words at all. I don't need anything. I just want to sit here, stand here, jump around here, and look pretty just so everybody else can see me. And I don't need anything else though. But I'm fine, I'm good, I don't want it. And then you become this front that not many people can get into, but God knows your heart. God knows who you are. God knows far beyond whatever you think you could say or do. He knows everything about you. Why are you trying to hide? Because I know deep down inside, we are probably all hurting more than we think we are sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We are so used to being go, go, go all the time, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and what about this, and what about that, and which is why I get to, we're standing in the middle between God and between the devil, going, oh my gosh, I'm getting really confused. Really, really confused. Because over here in this room with friends that I used to hang out with, they want me to go over here, but God, who I am really, really trying to find again, he wants me over here.